Happy Friday, everyone. It's Joy Nelson, Stamp with Joy from the Denver, Colorado area. I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up, so I'm going to show you some Stampin' Up stuff. Alright, so this is Fun for Fall. This is a new bundle from the online exclusives that just came out July 1st. And so we have this adorable little scarecrow and stuff, but I'm going to do something a little bit different for you today. I'm also going to be using, let's see, some early espresso. This is a really, really old pad. And the hydrangea hue and peaceful pine, which are brand new, with the new magnetic ink pads. See how they kind of stick together? Just kind of stick together there. So those are really fun because the lids are magnetic. All right. So let's go ahead and bring out, it's going to be a little bit of a wing it today, but I did bring some stuff. I have lots of little pieces here that I've kind of prepped for, but let's go ahead and let's bring out our card base. So our card base is hydrangea hue, and it is 4¼ inches, so 4¼ there, by 11 inches, so that is still half of an 8½ by 11 inch piece of cardstock. And then we have scored it a couple of different times. So if you go this way and you're feeding it into your machine, you're going to score it at 4¼ and then 5½, and then you're going to take this part here, and I'll show you with the trimmer. So the trimmer has a scoring blade as well as a cutting blade. So, like I said, you put it in, and you're going to score at 4¼ and then at 5½, and then you're going to take this out, and you're going to put your paper in. You got your tip up here, and then your line, your score line down here. So make sure your tip is even in that track, and you have your ready to go, so you can do a little diagonal. So we're going to do an easel card today, but we're going to do a diagonal book fold easel. Oh my goodness. Does that sound complicated? It really isn't. So we're going to bring out some of our gingham papers. These are brand new. They are the 2026 to 2028 in color Gingham Gallery papers. All right, so you've got your crisp cantaloupe, your golden glow, your barely blush, and your hydrangea hue and your peaceful pine. So those are fun. So those are really large checks there, like the buffalo checks. And then when you flip it over for the other side, look at these checks. These are smaller, and these are more like a window pane, I think, kind of gingham. So these are really, really fun, and we're going to play with a little bit of that today. All right, so we have our card base, and we have our all folded. Let's give those score lines a little bit more of a crease. And this one goes backwards, and then this one, so you have to score from here to here. That one flips up like that. And so now we have some nice crisp creases to work with. All right. We do need a piece of the 2026 to 2028 gingham check paper. So this is 4 inches by 1 inch, and that's just going to go right along here on our little book fold area. So that's going to go there. So, you know what, let's just get our card base ready. We also want some ribbon. So go ahead and tied my faux bow. If you want to know how to tie the faux bow is, I did a little reel on it like a week ago, and you can see how I tied my little favorite faux bow. So let's go ahead, let's just get these together for a minute, and then we'll move on to the rest of our pieces. Alright, so we're just going to attach this here. Just like so. And then the ribbon needs to go right in here. So the ribbon's going to go on here like this. So do I want to move it? Yeah, I think I want to move it over that way just a little bit. So you see more of the check. I need some glue dots. I'll pull some glue dots here out of my drawer. And this is the end part. That's the bow part. This is the end. And it's going to get a little glue dot. I'm going to do one at a time here. Alright. We're going to wrap this around to the inside. We'll glue this together so it won't be ugly there. And another one here. Let's find the glue dot. Alright. So this is going to go right about here. So there we have that. Now we need to make this so that it is not, so it's covered up. So it's book fold. So this is the binding of our book fold. Get plenty of adhesive on there. Just going to shut the door. And then now we have our card. Alright, so now we need a few pieces of cardstock here. We got some very vanilla pieces because I want this kind of have a fallish look. So very vanilla, it looks a little more fall. So we do have a 3 1/2 by 3 1/2 inch square. And this one's for the inside. So this one is a 4" by 4" square. Those are two very vanilla. And we have some golden glow. And the golden glow is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. We have pecan pie. So this is 4 inches by 4 inches. And then we have a piece of our hydrangea hue. And it is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. So those are our pieces with our layering pieces. I need to make a background on this one. Oh, hi there, Sandy. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to bring in an ugly scrap piece here, but it still has some area that hasn't been stamped on, so we're going to use that. All right. We're going to use some Peaceful Pine to start out with, and a small blending brush. I'm going to use my small blending brushes today. And I'm going to get the blotchiness off there. And we're just going to lay down some grass, kind of. Just kind of lay down a little grass here. On the bottom. Then we're going to move to our hydrangea hue. And we're going to do some sky with that. Just getting some ink, making sure we get the blotchiness out. And we're going to just lay this down on the rest of our card. We have to get some more. Don't want any blotches, so that's why you give it a good circle onto the paper. And we got a little bit of blotchy, but that's okay. We will deal with that. So we're just kind of making a blue sky here. just going to keep going until we get it kind of the way we want it. Depends on how dark you want it. I'm getting a little bit of darkness here, which is perfectly fine. That's kind of what I want. Kind of getting it to where the sky meets the grass. And we're just going to keep going until we get it the way we want it. So this is a nice, bright Colorado blue sky here is what we're going for. And maybe a little bit more of the grass. We're going to bring our peaceful pine back in. Getting the heavy blotchiness out. And we're going to go bringing some grass here. Okay, that looks pretty good. And a little bit right in the corner with the blue. All right, that looks pretty good. We're going to be happy with that. And now we've got that done. And we're going to mount this on our layers. We got the golden glow first. At our pecan pie. And we have our layers there. Get some pieces out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and put this one on. So this one only goes on part of this. So it's not going to be glued all the way because we need that free moving. Make sure that that lines up before we put any adhesive on it. Okay, that looks lined up pretty good. Alright. Okay. I'm just going to put the adhesive on this piece here. So we're going to put adhesive on this piece. So that we don't get adhesive where we don't want it. And again, line that up again. Make sure it's lined up good. Alright, so then our piece, it's going to be an easel card, so it's going to be able to stand up like this. But it will lay flat for the, excuse me, it will lay flat for putting in the envelope. Okay, make sure you get the grass at the bottom. So this is our green, so that's our grass. And we're just going to put that on there like so. Now, I have some pieces. Now what I did, well, some of these are die cut pieces and some of these are stamped pieces. So I did have my little flag here. And taking early espresso ink. I decided that's what I wanted because sometimes the hybrid black is a little too stark. So we're doing this. And then I have the hay there that's curved. So we're just going to get this, barely tapping it. And we're going to get this right, hopefully in the center. So that's our little hay there. Now I have gone ahead and die cut one. So I have a hey there there. Hey there there. And I have on this I have stamped with the also in the early espresso, the little hay bale. So I do have a couple, I did a couple of them, and I've gone ahead and cut them out with the die cut, the coordinating die cuts. And I also took some Stampin' Blends. So I have the Pecan Pie and the Golden Glow. Pecan Pie and Golden Glow. So I'm going to take the light pecan pie and the bullet tip, not the fat brush tip, but the smaller bullet tip. And I'm just going to do a little bit right here for the ties of bail. Like that. Then I'm going to take some dark Golden Glow, the dark Golden Glow. Again, the bullet tip. And I'm just going over those little marks that gives texture to the hay bale. So we're just going over those little marks there, just getting all of them. So we're just giving this a little extra texture. Get every single one of those. Put a few more in the center here. Don't be real precise. It's absolutely fine. Go here and then there. Alright, there we go. Now we have some texture on our hay bale. And I have another one that I have die cut out. So we're going to need two of these. We're going to need a hey there sign. And we're going to need, what else are we going to need? Oh yes, we need to die cut out of pecan pie. We need to die cut some fence. There's a little extra one there that we're going to need because how we're going to put the fence together on the inside. So we have three of these and then an extra little post there. Those are die cuts. We have three of these little corn stalks, but we're gonna turn them into sunflowers. So we have a die cut that is for the stamped sunflower. I should show you that. So it's for the stamped sunflower here. It's this one here. But instead of stamping it and then die cutting it, I decided to just do a die cut, and I'm going to turn it into a sunflower. So we need some scissors here and just do a little, kind of a little curvy there. I don't want it flat. I'm just doing a little curve. I just cut off the little stem part there. And I took the dark pecan pie and the bullet tip. And I'm just going to draw a little center. Just drawing a little center for my sunflower there. And I'm bringing my Take Your Pick tool and the palm of my hand, And I'm just going to use this cap, take the cap off, use the cap and just push that down in so that we have kind of a little bit of dimension. So there we have that. So that's the bloom of our sunflower. I have two more that I've already done. So now let's start putting some things together. Alright, now this I put adhesive sheet on the back before I die cut it. Very important to put it on the paper, put the the adhesive sheet on the paper before you make your die cut. So now we have a sticker here. Yep, we're going to use the Take Your Pick tool to try to help us get that out. There it's going. There it goes. Alright, now we can just pull that off and we have a sticker. So I do that with my really delicate die cuts because, oh yeah, I need to make that down. Let's see. So there we have it. We have our grass in the background, so it's looking all nice and blended background there. Then I did not put adhesive sheet. I could have put adhesive sheet on the back of this, but I did not. So I'm just going to put a very thin amount of glue from the tip, the nozzle tip. And then a little down here, kind of on each of these slots at the slits, the posts and the slots. Okay, there we have that. We have a little glue on our glass mat, but that's okay, it'll come right off. I think I want it right here on the edge. And then we got our hay bale. It's going to come in right about here, I think. And that's going to go on a dimensional. Just put a couple of them here. No saggy parts. Alright. We need our hay bale. Put it right about here. Then we have our little flag. We do need to do the pole of the flag. The dark pecan pie. Just lightly in this. One thing about the Stampin' blends is you don't want to press hard with them. They need a light touch. Alright, now we need, I think we need to make this kind of little dimensional. So we're going to mold this with fingers here. I'm going to put a mini dimensional under here, under this one, and we're going to double it up. Get another one and put on top of it. And we have that. We need a little glue along here. Maybe a little bit in there. Maybe a little bit on the end. And we're going to get that paper off. We're going to stick this sign down in here. We've just got a little, there we have a little dimension there. We've got our little hay there. And we need to put our little flowers on. Let's see what this does. I'm cut this in half. See what this does for our sunflowers here, to have this part kind of popping up. The middle down below, the middle kind of there, and there. All right, we'll see what this does. This might not work as well as I think it will, but we are just gonna see what happens. Getting the papers off. Here's some tweezers. Come on, tweezers. Here we go. We're going to cover up this part here. Put that on there. We're going to push that down. So that hopefully we're keeping some dimension here by getting the part that we've glued to stick down and then the other part to pop up. There we go. So this is our last little sunflower here. I'm going to put that one up a little bit to give them a little bit of movement. And holding that down. All right. There we go. So see how that they're kind of popped up? They give them a little bit of movement, a little bit of flair. And what else do we need? I think we need a little bit more of a sentiment. I'm gonna right up in here. It's just pretty sparse. I mean, you could punch a circle, you could do a sun, you could just do a lot of different things. I'm gonna choose to use the I'm So Thankful for You from the stamp set, the Fun for Fall stamp set. Okay, so what size do I need this? I'm going to measure. And it is, we did 1 and, yeah, 1 3/4 is probably a little too small. Let's go 1 7/8 by 3/4. All right, put these aside and bring the trimmer in. So that's how I measure what size I want for my sentiments. 1 7/8 by 3/4. Now 3/4 is going to be kind of tricky keeping that in place there. So I just have a little piece of washi tape and I'm going to put that down to hold that in place. So there's our piece for our sentiments. And I want the espresso again. They're so thankful for you. Hopefully we will get this straight. You know what? Okay. Probably could have been a little bit smaller. Okay, we're just gonna stamp it over there to that side. And we're gonna trim this down a little bit. Whoops! That was almost a disaster. So let's go ahead and trim that down just a little bit. Bring in our paper trimmer and we're going to go down a 1/16 of an inch, I think. Oh, maybe. Oh, well, this is a smaller sentiment than I thought. Yeah. Should we go down to 1 5/8? No, we're going to go the 1/16 of an inch in between the 3/4 and the 1 5/8. That's what we're going to do. That looks good. Now we need, now we need a hydrangea hue. So this is 3/4 of an inch, so 1 7/8. No, we want it the other way. We're going to do it the other way. We're going to instead of 3/4 of an inch, we're going to go 7/8 of an inch. And we're going to do a little hand trimming. Sometimes that just works all the better. Okay, we're going to use the liquid glue because we have wiggle room. And we're going to lay this down. We just need a skinny border around this. So we're just laying that down with a skinny border. And then we're going to take our scissors and we're just going to trim that with a skinny border. There we go. Beautiful. Alright, so this is going to go up here like this. So it kind of takes up a little bit of that blank space there. So it's hey there, so thankful for you. Alright. Okay. We're just going to, here's the small ones, we're just going to grab a couple of those. Four little ones and one in the middle. Here we have it. Use our take your pick tool to get those papers off. Yeah, it's off. Alright. And this is just going to go on here, hanging off at the edge there. Okay. The Joy likes things a little offset. Alright, now we're going to work on the inside. So for the inside piece, we need our fence. So again, we're going to bring in the liquid glue. Make this single one. Make sure the right side is up. I'm going to go right here to take care of that little gap there. Then we're going to, I think I just lost a light. Hopefully my camera will adjust. Go ahead and put the other one out for now. There we go. Hopefully the camera is going to adjust here for us. And going to put our inside piece on. If this goes in the inside here, this will not go open all the way because of how we've got it. Okay. I should have put this on first. Okay, here we go. Our inside layer. So there's our inside layer, and then we need a stopper. So we need a bale of hay to be our, right here, to be our stopper. And I could put more bales of hay, but I don't have them dug right now. So we're just going to use this one. And we're just going to go right there in the middle. Take off the paper. And our hay bale. How far in do we want it to go? Depends on how tall we want our easel. You just put it right there. So there we have our little easel card there. Like I said, I think I would like another one of those. Maybe I'll just quickly do one and fussy cut it. And I'm going to bring in my mini cutting box because it's right here under my table here. I'm going to bring in the mini and we're going to cut out that hay bale. So washi tape up here that I use over and over until it just kind of falls apart. So let's get our die here out of our package. And this one here is the little hay bale. I'm going to grab that. I'm going to put this, line it up the way it should go. That looks right. Maybe. Let's try the other way. That one's a little better. Okay. Put some washi tape on it. Hold it in place. Got it in between our cutting plates. And then our base plate on the bottom. So there we have it. There is our little hay bale there. So now we have another one here. And I think I'm just going to put that one like that. And that looks better. We like that. Get some super glue. The hay bales were on Golden Glow, so I'll tell you the colors again in a minute. Just putting that one right there. That looks a little better. Looked a little sparse down there. So that's a little better. We've got our little hay bales and stuff. Do we want to put any gems on here? Maybe. Let me see about that. I might want one. I'm going to color them though with the Golden Glow, the dark one. So these are the iridescent basic jewels, and I'm just going to color it. So if you have basic jewels, either the rhinestones or the pearls, you can absolutely color your own to the color you want. So that's nice and fun there. And let's see, where is our, I'm going to use this end of my tape picker tool. And we're going to see about this. I think I want one there. And one, do I want one anywhere else? I don't think I do. Just going to leave those there. So they'll be all colored, ready to go for another project. And I just want that did add a little extra there. So we have our little book fold. Oh, and we need to trim our ribbon here. Trim this at an angle. Alright, now we're finished. So we have our little gingham paper, and we have our bow, our faux bow, and we have a little pearl. We've got our little sunflowers here that are all kind of popped up and molded for dimension. And then when they open it, it goes like this, and it's got the little stopper so that it, only tilting it up so you can kind of see how it is. So that's how it is. You do have a little bit of area here. You could write in, sign it a little bit if you wanted to, or you could put a piece on the back and you could sign the back. So that's just how our easel card goes. Thank you so much for watching me today, and until next week, bye.